So, in today's tutorial, we're going to talk about the 5 most common effects and why you should learn those effects first. Now, if you just learn these 5 effects, it will transform the way you produce your music. So, with that said, you know the drill. Hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and let's get straight into it. Alright, so the first effect we have is an EQ8. Now, an EQ8 is designed to either raise or lower the volume of specific frequencies. Some of its most common uses are to roll off all of the sub-frequencies, allowing more room for your bass to fit through, raising some of the higher frequencies to help things cut through the mix, and removing some mid-range frequencies to allow space for vocals and guitars or leads. So effect number 2, now I'm going to group 2 together here. I'm going to use reverb and delays. Now reverb and delays can be used really creativity to make really long reverb tails and things like that. But I think the most common use for reverb and delay is to help fill out the mix. Using small amounts of reverb and delay on dry vocals or instruments can really make them come to life. Try setting just a really short decay time for both the reverb and the delay. So the third effect for me is probably a compressor. So a compressor is used to help lower the dynamic range. When I'm talking now, some parts are quiet and some parts are loud. So I'll put a compressor on this to help level the audio so it's all the same volume. Bring your love to me, baby, promise I will stay. If you don't tell it lift, then I'll show you how I come on, bring your love. Now coming in at a close fourth, we have the utility. Now the utility is so simple, but it has a lot of really powerful functions that I use on basically everything. So if you want to do some volume automation, naturally you'll automate your track's volume control. Now this is bad because if you want to change that control later, it'll automatically deactivate the automation. And that's why I automate utility's gain control instead. It allows me to change the volume of the track at any time I want without disrupting the automation. And it can also be used to mono the bass. So by clicking the bass mono button and then lowering the hertz, you can set the frequency at which you want the bass to be mono. This is perfect for if you have a wide synth, but you want to keep the bass mono. Alright, so the last effect I'm going to talk about is the saturator. Now the saturator can be used in 2 separate ways. It can be used to completely destroy a sound, or it can be used to add some subtle warmth to a sound. If you want to have something like a snare cut through your mix, adding a little bit of saturation can help this. Or if you have a synth part that's just lacking that warmth, you can add subtle saturation to add some harmonics. Now, if you like me and basically use the same effects on everything, you can add these effects to your default MIDI tracks and audio tracks. To do this, simply add the effects to the track, right-click on it and say Save as Default. Now every time you load in a new track, you'll have these effects automatically on it. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing. If you have a question, leave it in the comments below. Or if you want a whole bunch of free stuff, you can visit my website at offthebeat.com.